Good evening, and welcome to this evening edition of the Vision Root video blog. I'm your host, Richard Urban, coming to you from historic Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. Let's begin with our reading from the Chun Sung Gyung, the words of Reverend Sun Myung Moon. Humankind continues to be plagued by conflicts based on power or knowledge. The time when the war of love can be waged has not yet come. This is why religious leaders say that their time will come when the end of the world approaches. When the end of the world comes, the power of the fists and the power of knowledge will pass away, and only the power of love will remain. The final age of worldly supremacy is none other than the last days. Can a strong elder brother come home and be the boss there? No. No matter how strong the elder brother may be, he cannot be the boss when he comes home. He may be a world champion in the ring, but he cannot be the boss at home. Even when an elder brother has several hundred doctorates, can he come home and be the boss? No, not even then. Why not? Because his parents are there. That's from Chun Sung Gyung, page 435. So our topic tonight is the false operating system has been reset. So, this weekend I attended a special event in Newfoundland, Pennsylvania. It was the cosmic blessing of the parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. And that was a very special event. The cosmic perfection, blessing, and holy marriage of true parents of heaven, earth, and humanity. That was the full name of the event that occurred this weekend. And it was the blessing of Reverend Sun Myung Moon, who has ascended to Spirit World in 2012, and Mrs. Young Shil Kang, who's a very faithful lady who was the very first disciple of Reverend Moon in South Korea since the early 1950s. So this was an amazing event. So let me share something else with you too. So this last week, just 1 week ago, my Windows 10 computer completely crashed. Like, not completely, but it wouldn't, like, nothing would work on it. You know, there was no start menu. There was no, things wouldn't work. So the tech said, oh, it was after that huge update they had. He said, your operating system, we have to reinstall it. Fortunately, the data was still there. Actually, I'm still trying to reinstall everything. So it was crazy. It like took 3 days of time to get everything fixed up. So this had never happened to me like in 30 years of using Windows. What is going on? But the point I'm trying to make is that the operating system was messed up. And this could be really is an analogy for what's happening right here in this world. The operating system of our world got completely messed up from the beginning when Adam fell. He fell. He had a premature sexual relationship with the archangel, with Eve rather, and Eve did also with the archangel prior to that, prior to falling with Adam. So basically people think that this world, you know, the lineage they have, as Reverend Moon has shared with us, is a lifeline upon which the world depends. Not so. Jesus said in John 8:44, you of your father the devil, and you will also do your father's desires. This world is not God's world. It's Satan's world. So what is needed to restore the world? As I just read in the reading from the words of Reverend Moon, what's needed is parents. But tragically, so Reverend Moon came as the true parent and he took a bride. That was Hak Jahan, for those who are familiar with the unification movement. Unfortunately, this woman has become vainglorious and has completely departed from Reverend Moon. And you can see in what she's done since Reverend Moon died. And no doubt Reverend Moon's heart was really pained by that. But now the universe has been set right. The core of the universe is now reinstated through the work of Mrs. Kang, but through this cosmic blessing. So this is really an amazing thing. And I just want to report to you that Also on September 23rd was the very day that many Christians believed that, there was a special sign in heaven. So the 4 planets were all, including Jupiter, in Virgo, the constellation, and they emerged after 9 months in the womb. Jupiter, the planet, emerged from the constellation. So many thought this had to do with the last days and the Messiah. So probably most Christians, or the great majority, have no idea how this was fulfilled. Some thought perhaps they would be raptured, the world would literally end, and things like that. Well, that clearly didn't happen. So what did happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened for the record. So on that day, Reverend Myung was, as I said, blessed in holy matrimony with Mrs. Hyun Shil Kang, who's a 90-year-old woman right now, who has been incredibly prepared, and she is now the new true mother with Reverend Moon. So that sets the perfection level foundation and the core for this universe to be in the right order. You say, are you so sure, Richard? Yes, I'm so sure. So also, it just so happens that Reverend Hyung Jin Moon celebrated his birthday on both the solar and lunar calendar immediately following this event. So the event was on the 23rd. On the 25th lunar, 26th solar, Reverend Hyung Jin Moon, who's the son of Reverend Moon, who has inherited the mission of Reverend Moon, that Reverend Moon appointed to that inheritance, in effect had a rebirth or born. So you could say is that, child that was born, in effect, in that celestial sign. So what does this all mean? Well, what it means is that the universe now has a right center. And just like a home needs parents to be the center, that means things can move in the right order. Now, does that mean there won't be tribulation? As we can see, there's a great tribulation world. Well, no, there is a great tribulation. But it means that things will now be moving according to God's plan as we fulfill our own responsibility. So it's not something that's going to miraculously happen, although this is, in a way, a miracle that this could take place, this blessing of Reverend Moon and Miss Hyun Shil Kang. But things can move in the right direction. So, as a Christian, I urge you to understand more about the work of Reverend Myung Moon, about the divine principle. And you can check out our website right here, visionroot.org, to start understanding about that. You can also subscribe to the Daily Inspiration. You can find that also at Vision Root, that's the word vision, V-I-S-I-O-N, root, root.org. And that way you can begin to understand God's will and how this providence is moving ahead. I'd also like to point out that after Jesus was crucified, the world went into chaos, and in fact, no one believed in Jesus. You say, wait a minute, isn't there St. Paul? Well, sure, and the 12 disciples. But remember that when Jesus was on the cross, all of them ran away. No one was in paradise at that time, according to Jesus, except the thief on the right. So, even though the World Peace and Unity Sanctuary, that's the movement that is led by Reverend Moon's son, is relatively small, it is a central position that is working as a central point of true parents, and we can all join with that. So that's determining the central point, and God is working through that point. And it's very important to accept that point. You can see that extreme tragedy happened, to the Jewish people after they rejected Jesus. And in case you didn't know, no, it was not the will of God that the chosen people reject Jesus. So, it is not the will of God either that the chosen Christians reject Reverend Myung Moon and his inheritor, Reverend Hyun Jin Moon. So, it's very important to understand these things and what's going on. So, I'm glad to put that out in the atmosphere, and I hope this will be helpful to your understanding of the events of September 23rd and the events following. And we need to be teaching the works of our moon, and as I've been preaching on and teaching on, that has to do with absolutely good sex, sexual purity, marriage, family, blessed marriage, and also taking sovereignty of God's people for dominion over this earth, not just, or not at all, not in heaven when you die, but now and then naturally transition to heaven. So, I hope you found this video helpful. Do like it, do subscribe. I'm Richard Urban. Until next time, I'm reporting from historic Harpersferry, West Virginia. Good night and do be blessed.